How are you doing with mental fear? Do you have instances where, let's say, somebody doesn't text you back and it freaks you out, you get upset, and then you find out they were just busy or their phone died? Do you have an email come in from a manager or a family member and you just dread, you instantly go, because you do not want, you know that they always have some issue, you do not want to read the email or the text? Do you have finances that are coming at you and you're laying in bed at night at 3, 4 a.m. in the morning worried about how you're going to make things work? Or you have a child maybe that's going wayward and you don't know where they are in the world and you know they're not okay? Or whatever brand of anxiety, worry, fear, stress, overwhelm is hitting you. Is this happening to you? Is your life becoming more and more unmanageable mentally as your mind just drives you crazy with the same thoughts over and over and over, like an engine running at high speed that won't stop, right? Well, I want to talk to you about that because I have discovered and decoded what I call the internal guidance system. And I have found that over the last 23 years in working with 40,000 people, I have found something miraculous, really. And that is that each and every one of us is born with an internal guidance system. It's located in our body. We're born with it. And it shows up when you feel a lump in your throat or a collapsing tightness in your chest, like anxiety feels, or stress in your upper stomach area. This is related to a guidance system that's managing your thoughts. And when you feel these tight sensations inside, I call them closings, what it means is that what you're thinking is not true or not going to happen. Now, I know that that sounds like a fairy tale and that the things that you have in your life are real, okay? I understand that. But I found that this thing that I discovered and decoded, right? It actually works. And if you'll give me a moment of your time, I'm going to explain it to you. And then I'm going to offer you a free 5-day experience where you get a short video every day with an experience to go do for the day that's working with this internal guidance system and your mind. And why is this important? Because at the end of this 5-day period, it's so simple. Trust me, you're going to have a different understanding of how your mind works and how to relieve the suffering and stress and anxiety. Because truly, the stress and anxiety and fear that you have is coming from your own thinking in reaction to the world around you. That's why you can have one person in the world that you know that gets really upset about something and becomes dramatically, engaged in this, situation. And you're like, what is going on? Why are you being so dramatic? This does not seem like a big deal at all. But for you, you might have some other big deal that happens, right? Now, what I can say is you have used this internal guidance system in your life. You have areas of your life that are easy, that flow, that are opening, right? And then there's other areas, we all have them, where we're not. So one person may be great at business and horrible at family, or fantastic with money, but not so good with personal interactions, right? We all have our gaps, and you don't have to have these gaps. Now, as the world is becoming more and more terrifying, and there's more going on that feels dangerous to our own lifestyle and our freedoms, okay, no matter what side of the aisle you are on, there are things that you most likely are witnessing. And this is not just United States centric, it's globally now that it seems like things are collapsing and getting difficult. And so I want to share with you the internal guidance system, I call it IGS for short. I want to share it with you and get you working with it, because what happens is you are able to make super effective decisions. When you feel tight inside, that means what you're thinking is not true or not going to happen. And through the series of practices, the experience I'm leading you through, you're going to be able to change your thinking and feel this release. And when it releases, it means that you are now on a trajectory that's successful. It doesn't matter what is happening around you. Years ago, 3 years now, I had breast cancer. Now you would think, of course, that's terrifying. But when I felt the lump, I opened with the thought, this is breast cancer. Opened. I didn't go into terror. I went into a relaxed state of knowing. Okay. And then what happened is as I moved through the experience, I was able to manage the doctors and what they wanted me to do. There's a lot of pressure if you have a cancer diagnosis. They want you to do what they want you to do, and they don't care what you think is best for you. They're really pushy. And I was able to hold the line. And I made choices that have now led me to be completely cancer free from the day that I didn't have to do chemo or radiation. I did a double mastectomy. And from the day after the double mastectomy until now, I've not had any reoccurrence or any sickness. And I have a 1% chance of recurrence because of the decisions I made by following the openings of my IGS. You have dramatic situations that are happening in your life, and your internal guidance system can help you move through them, I promise. Once you learn how to use this, it is the ultimate tool for you to get through any difficult situation. But even more than that, what I found is there seems to be a powerful source of information that knows what we don't know. Miracles and synchronicities seem to be the norm. And each person, when we've talked about this, my students and I, we seem to have a personal blueprint in life, a perfect path for us. And when we follow the openings, and when you follow your openings, what you're going to find is that this synchronistic, symbiotic experience where everything just works out and it's easy, it's effortless, the more you just find the openings, the more your life begins to work out in exactly the way you want it to. In fact, things you didn't even know you wanted to have happen, you open to, and you're like, wow, this is what I've been wanting to be my whole life. Situations where you keep doing the same thing with people over and over again, this internal guidance system, you'll be closed at how you're doing it. And if when you use the practices and the experiences, and what you'll find is it will lead you to new solutions. And those situations that have been difficult your whole life, they evaporate. So I'd love for you to experience this so that I can have a deeper conversation with you about it. Because as soon as you know how this works and you get an inkling of it, not only are you going to be super excited, you're going to want to find more and more openings, okay? But you're going to be able to have a conversation about how you can use this in your life to transform your life to be exactly how you want it to be. And these changes are permanent. When you go from the closing to finding your opening thought, and that releases, it changes the neural pathways of your brain. So the things that used to cause you anxiety, stress, and worry, they start to evaporate. I call this clearing out the closings. You have to clear out all the tightness and stress first, and then you can find your openings. And I'll walk you through how to do that after the program. So sign up below, it's free. Do the first video now, okay, right now, tonight, today, this afternoon, whatever time zone you're in and whenever you're doing it, stop and do this video, and then do the experience, the practice that I give you today, right now, okay? And then you'll get another one and another one. They build on each other and give you a completely new awareness of how much power you have over the thoughts that cause suffering in your life, of the thoughts that no longer work for you, of the habitual patterns and that engine revving up in your mind that won't stop. You'll be able to stop it. So go ahead and join now, do the next video. And I'm very much looking forward to being in your life and supporting you and being able to make the best decisions, get out of the worst situations every time, because you know how to use your IGS now. All right, I can't wait to see you on the other side. Thanks so much for being here and checking this out.